one question for you guys. Have you ever searched up an actor's name while you're watching TV and seen that their parents' names are highlighted in blue? And then you clicked on them and then you find out that they're famous or happen to be very rich? I'm sure that's happened more often than you can count. One recent instance of that happening was when I searched up the cast of Euphoria and saw Maud, who plays Lexi, her profile, and why did I not know that her parents are some of the biggest Hollywood faces ever. Her mom is an actual legend and I love her movies. Leslie Mann is pretty much a Hollywood icon, and her father is Judd Apatow, one of the biggest Hollywood directors out there, and he's been part of huge projects like This Is 40, Step Brothers, Bridesmaids, and the list goes on. So this made me really think of how unaware I am that all these nepotism babies are on our screens right in front of our faces, on our favorite TV shows and movies, without us even knowing. Have they so successfully made a name for themselves that we don't even remember them as so-and-so's kid anymore? First off, before we start this conversation, let's define nepotism. Also, shout out to Amanda Mariana, who has an amazing YouTube channel where she speaks a lot of commentary about pop culture, politics, and more. She was the one who made the video about your favorite celebrities having rich parents, so kudos to her for speaking about nepotism. Nepotism is defined as the practice among those with power or influence of favoring relatives or friends, especially by giving them jobs. So basically getting the job through a powerful connection in the industry. So that includes about 95% of Hollywood, and all these upcoming entertainers that we think are new to the scene most likely are related to someone famous or have a connection to them that gave them that step up. We see that this is becoming so common in the entertainment industry, and many others have argued that it is unfair to those who don't have that opportunity to get a leg in. Trying to enter this cutthroat industry from scratch is pretty damn difficult, and to some others, they have successfully done so, but think about the majority of your favorite celebrities that might be related to someone famous. Here are some of the few examples that you may not have known. Saweetie is Gabrielle Union's cousin, Emma Roberts is Julia Roberts' niece, Billie Lourd is the daughter of Carrie Fisher or Princess Leia, and the granddaughter of Debbie Reynolds. Dakota Johnson is the daughter of two huge actors, Melanie Griffith and Don Johnson, and Cara Delevingne was born into one of the wealthiest British families that basically owns and controls all of the British media. Now, nepotism can be annoying sometimes, but it's even more annoying when these celebrities don't acknowledge that they benefit from it. There's nothing wrong with being provided the opportunities or privileges that your relatives may offer you. I mean, 95% of us would have taken that opportunity if it really meant bumping up our careers, because it's all about building connections and a reputation. If your relatives work that hard to make a name for themselves, what's the harm in wanting to pass it on to your children? The problem I have with nepotism is that a lot of these celebrities like to pretend that they don't benefit from it, and some of them benefit from their last names, who they're associated with, and so on and so forth. So let's get into a couple of examples. Think about the time Kendall Jenner denied ever benefiting from nepotism, and instead she claims that she has to work twice as hard because of her name and association. Now, that's a big fat lie, and we all know her family is extremely famous for their reality TV show. They're also very transparent about their lives on TV. Sometimes I would say a little too transparent.
Child. Anyway, so
of course it's going to be difficult for her to disassociate herself from her family. Let's not forget that her sister Kim basically jump-started her modeling career for her.
I've never done it before, no. Really? Any chance that we could talk you into that?
That sounds amazing.
I think I have like cheerleading practice on Monday.
Oh, we'll get out of it. It's fine.
Runway is just not what I want to do right now. It's a little intimidating to me, and I'm about to politely tell her no, and Kim just jumps in and says yes.
We'll figure something out for sure.
Okay, great. Okay, thanks.
That'll be good.
See what we're working with.
What?
Actually, that's great, because you got a little swagger, baby. Let's try it again. And stop and pose. Good, and twist, keep turning. Don't pick your feet up, Kendall. Let's try it again. And go. Okay, stop. Keep the photography face. And let's try one more time. Head up. No. Seriously, please.
I start getting a little silly because I'm getting bored and I just kind of want to be done.
Can we try it again?
Sure.
All right, great. Thank you. Go. Okay, stop. Don't.
Kendall,
okay.
this isn't a joke. You have to start taking this really seriously. Come on.
Beep, beep, beep.
I don't think she's into this.
Kendall, this isn't funny.
How many times do I have to do it?
Do you not want to be here?
You know from the beginning I've been scared to do runway and like...
Why are you scared? You love to model. This is just an extension of modeling. Kendall? Kendall, where are you going? Where are you going? Come here.
Kim, I really don't want to be here right now.
Stop embarrassing me. What was that about? Why do you just storm out? Like, what are you thinking?
Kim, you've known that I haven't wanted to do this.
You're not taking advantage of your opportunity.
Honestly, I feel like you're doing this for yourself. Kim originally wanted to do runway, but it ended up being too short for it, so I think she's taking her fantasy out on me. You have this crazy dream that you want...
I just don't understand why you're
Kim, you are honestly not listening to me. I have told you 500 times that I don't want to be doing this right now, and you just keep going on with these crazy things. You're honestly crazy right now.
You're acting like a brat when you're not. Like, you just walk out on meetings and you're not even doing, like, giving it your all. You need to start acting a little bit more professional.
She didn't even want to be a model at first, but many other deserving, aspiring models would have taken that opportunity that she had in that position. Another problem with nepotism is the delusion of some of these celebrities claiming that they are quote-unquote self-made. Kylie Jenner received the Forbes Award for being a self-made billionaire, and I just want to know who thought that was a good idea. We all know this woman was born with like $1 million as soon as she was out the womb already. She definitely has built her own businesses and elevated them, don't get me wrong. But to say that she's self-made is kind of a far reach. Kylie already had the privilege to invest thousands, if not millions of dollars into her businesses so they could be where they are today. So self-made definitely is not the right title for this nepotism baby. Let's talk a little bit about the Olivia Jade scandal. Olivia Jade is a social media influencer and content creator that has very, very famous and rich parents. Her mom, Lori Loughlin, is Aunt Becky from Full House and the mom from 90210. Her father is also a very rich, successful fashion designer, so she already had connections in the industry that she wanted to work in. Fortunately for her, it came to light that her parents actually bribed the university college admissions to secure her a spot at USC, or University of Southern California, which, by the way, if you live in California, you know that it is considered a very rich and private top-tier school. I would imagine you have to be very well-rounded in academics and extracurriculars to get accepted. But for Olivia Jade, it was exposed that Aunt Becky and her husband actually bribed the admissions team some Benjamins with the high level of their celebrity status, and it probably played a part in getting their daughter in. Olivia also admits on her YouTube channel that she only ever wanted to attend college for the party experience.
It's true, like I just really didn't want to go.
Education, I don't
know why I'm going to college.
You don't even know?
No, I'm kidding.
I'm going to be attending college, and then the whole college thing, yep, I'm going, I'm living in a dorm. With work, it's going to be hard. Like my first week of school, I'm leaving to go to Fiji for work. So I don't know how much of school I'm going to attend, but I do want the experience of like game days, partying. I don't really care about school, as you guys all know.
So if that was the case, then she should have attended a regular university, and her spot at USC could have been given to someone else deserving of it. Olivia did end up losing some sponsorships from fashion brands that she was trying to collaborate with. This example is a prime one of nepotism and the benefits, but also the backlash and consequences if it's taken advantage of in the wrong way. Nepotism is not all wicked games though, because there are some celebrities who have either acknowledged their come up or made a name for themselves without being forever associated with a famous relative. That's why my opinion is that nepotism isn't all that bad when it's brought us some entertainment legends. Some examples include Steve Carell, Tracee Ellis Ross, Rashida Jones, and there are so many more nepotism celebrities that I can include that are deserving of their spots in the industry. I definitely don't want to take away the credit of their impact in the industry because some of them are leaving behind huge legacies. Think about Tracee Ellis Ross. She's a Hollywood legend, but rarely do people ever mention her mom's name. Her mom is an actual music legend, and she's the Diana Ross. I mean, that's a huge flex for Tracee, but she's done so well for herself being in huge TV shows and movies over the years that she's established a name for herself. There are a couple of nepotism babies that are mediocre at their jobs and make me question if they could get away with a lack of talent or skill if they were a regular person. How much of a better job could a regular person with the actual talent or skill do? That's where I have a problem with nepotism, and I'll tell you why. I think anyone can agree that it's unfair that Kendall Jenner is the highest paid model currently. She's definitely a gorgeous girl, but her modeling is very mediocre, and we can't sit here and act like she didn't get those huge fashion campaigns and collaborations because of her family status. And not to forget the workings of momager Kris Jenner. She hasn't had enough experience in the industry like other supermodels, and I don't think she has a career portfolio that can definitely establish her as the highest paid model. She didn't even want to be a model when she was younger, but then she had the privilege to change her mind when she was older and make it a full-time career. Meanwhile, there are more talented models out here struggling to book gigs and working their asses off to get noticed. Another issue with nepotism is when people blatantly deny that they have benefited from nepotism or the help of a famous or rich relative. Recently, Maud did an interview where she talked about being labeled a nepotism baby and how she felt sad at first. In a recent interview with Net-a-Porter, she says, "At first, I was sad. I try not to let it get to me because I obviously understand that I'm in such a lucky position. A lot of people in a similar position have proven themselves over the years, so I've got to keep going and make good work." She then says, "It's so early in my career, I don't have much to show yet, but hopefully one day I'll be really proud of the stuff I've done by myself." And that's exactly the approach these nepotism babies need to have, is to acknowledge that they are in lucky positions that lots of others would kill for. She is right when she says she has a lot of work to do to prove herself and establish her name in the industry. Don't get me wrong, Maud is very talented, but she is an upcoming actor and has so much more to prove. Although I can understand where her frustrations are coming from, because it can appear insulting when someone is insinuating you're only where you are because of mommy and daddy's money. It can definitely come off as them trying to discredit the work and projects that you've done. However, there is nothing wrong with being called a nepotism baby, because listen, it's the truth. To all those celebrities being offended, you should just acknowledge your privilege and benefit that you have that others don't. It doesn't mean that you don't struggle in other things, but in this particular subject, you didn't have to work as hard as a regular person aspiring to be in the industry. And Maud, don't be sad or upset about being labeled a nepotism baby. You got to interview One Direction as a 12-year-old girl, and now that you're working towards writing and directing, you're going to be receiving top-tier advice and feedback from your father, who's a Hollywood legend, and your mother, who's an icon as well. So take advantage of that amazing opportunity and continue to build your name in the industry. Maud is very talented, and I hope that she and all the other nepotism celebrities in denial realize that it's not always a bad thing to get a leg in the industry with the help of a relative. There are so many aspiring entertainers who are working 2 jobs to get by, to pay their bills, to even eat, and are struggling to get gigs because they don't have the luxury of having rich or famous parents to jumpstart their careers. It's definitely not a problem to be a product of nepotism. It is, however, a problem when those people refuse to acknowledge the privilege they have in contrast to others. This can go for regular non-famous people as well, because wealthy families often secure positions at prestigious universities and high-paying jobs for their children. That's why it's so common for rich parents to pass their businesses onto their next generation kin. It's common sense to want the best for your children and loved ones, but let's remind each other that it's also okay to acknowledge that you've benefited from the help or connections of your relatives. That's it for today's conversation about the realization that 95% of Hollywood is already related to someone famous. I want you all to do me a favor, if you will, and search up some of your favorite celebrities. That goes for actors, musicians, entertainers, athletes, all of them. Search them up and comment down below any shockers that you found or any celebrities that you didn't know were nepotism babies before.